Hi, I'm John Everett with Zurn Industries. Today I'd like to talk to you about product rebuilding or product repair. And the valve that I'd like to talk about today is the Model 600XL. I get considerable calls from my customers questioning me whether or not a rebuild would work. So for example, they've had a valve in service for a number of years, it's provided good service to them, but all of a sudden the valve will no longer reduce pressure. The customer is fully aware that Zurn Wilkins has readily available repair kits, but the question always comes up, John, will the repair work? Will the valve function again? So what I've done is I've taken a valve, a Model 600XL, and I've cut it in half so that I can show you internally what to look for in the event that you want to rebuild the valve and be ensured that the valve's going to work. I'm going to take this is just a cutaway. I've taken the valve like this and I've sawed it basically in half. So what you're looking at is the body here. And with respect to the body, the diaphragm and the stem assembly would set in the valve just about like you see here. Now, within the valve body, there's what we call an O-ring bore. And that's a smooth area that the O-ring on the stem resides in. This O-ring separates your incoming water from your outgoing water, so if we have any leakage across this O-ring, the valve will no longer reduce pressure effectively. So when you get ready to rebuild the valve, I standardly tell my customer, take the valve apart first and don't put any components in it until you inspect those areas that I'm referring to. And again, it's this O-ring bore. Now, if you look at that O-ring bore and you note that it's got like a green patina on it, that's the coating that we'll get on any copper alloy when it's exposed to water or various chemicals. Generally speaking, you can take a little piece of fine sandpaper and put it on your finger and get in there and polish that area out. As long as you can polish it out, get it nice and clean, remove that patina or any light pitting, the rebuild absolutely will work. But in the event that you got in here and you noticed that that O-ring bore has any deep grooves or any washing caused by the abrasiveness of the water moving by a leaking O-ring, that valve is going to need to be replaced. Now, when I'm talking about washing, water, believe it or not, is very, very abrasive. And if we have a failure of that O-ring, the water just moves across a little tiny crack at a very high velocity, and it will start eating away the bronze O-ring bore. And again, if you look inside, you find that that bore is severely washed, pitted, corroded, etc., to the point that you cannot clean it with emery cloth or fine sandpaper, the valve must be replaced. Other than that, there's nothing internally in the body itself that can go bad beyond that bore. So I would suggest at this point in time, if you have any questions about that or you want to make a comment to us, give us a call at Zurn Industries. Our customer care team can walk you through the rebuild. They can explain this process of looking at that bore a little more thoroughly. If your questions become deeper than that, certainly they will transfer you to an engineer like myself or to another engineer here at Zurn Wilkins, and we'll be happy to walk you through the rebuild. Don't hesitate to call us.